Yo, this is for my notification gang only. If you want to be on my next video for a shout out, only thing you have to do is like up the video, watch this video fully, comment down below notification gang. Make sure you do subscribe, turn notifications so you won't miss out on my daily videos. Appreciate all the support lately, y'all. Like I said, I'm going crazy this year. But anyways, y'all, enjoy the video. Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Chuck. Now, for this video, I will be reacting to Magic Johnson. This is my first time watching this. Make sure you do subscribe, turn notifications. Follow all my social medias at the top of this video. We going crazy this year, y'all. Just keep showing me love, keep showing me support. And comment down below what videos you want me to react to next. I'm really trying to get to the old school players. Like I said, I'm a young basketball fan. And for my notification gang, be ready for my next shout out video. But anyways, let's get into it, y'all.
But I want you to know that this man has a smile that lights up a television screen from here to Bangor, Maine.
The greatest point guard to ever play the game is here.
Facts.
Yeah.
Thank you.
A legend.
A super legend. The greatest point guard ever to play the game of basketball.
And normally when Envy says special guest, it could be anyone, but this time it really is a special guest.
That's right. Mr. Magic Johnson.
Earvin Magic Johnson is here.
What's up? What's up?
Man, I got Magic Johnson in here. Wait a minute, man. Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay, all right. Yo, Magic, come on, man. Come on, man. Let me get this moment in.
All right, go ahead.
All right.
Who's the best point guard of the 1980s, Isaiah?
Come on, Zeke. Say yourself, Zeke. Say yourself, Zeke.
No, honestly, I will have to say Magic Johnson.
Number 1, Magic Johnson.
Magic Johnson, a 6'9" lead guard. You ever heard of things like this?
Magic is straight down the middle. Still going, still going. Oh! Highlight film. No time.
He's the only guy that I've ever seen will look at a guy, time him, measure his speed, measure his distance, look away for about 3 seconds, look you off, and then hit that guy in the dime without ever looking at him.
Everybody wanted to be Magic. Everybody wanted to go out there and throw the fancy passes.
That's what he was always about. He always wanted to put on a show for people. That's why he wanted to do them flashy passes, no look passes, because he want the crowd to see it. And then when teammates makes the layups or makes the dunk, then the crowd start getting up, they start getting excited, they start getting happy. So that's what he was meant for.
He wanted to win so bad, but he always had fun. He was always smiling. He always appealed to the crowd. He always wanted the crowd to be in it because he knew that's what the team fed off of. And he was smart in that aspect.
And the crowd is getting nutty.
If I could do that, then I'll be on my way. If I could learn how to give an assist and then play to the crowd and get the crowd involved, then I think that's what it's all about. I can remember back in the day when I used to watch this man, I would love to play against him. And he was retired when I got into the NBA. And when he came back, I thought that it was wonderful. It was amazing that I was actually out on the floor at the same time as he was. And he was handling the basketball. I mean, this was like a dream come true.
Hey, he hasn't lost a thing. He hasn't lost a thing.
Looks good, doesn't he?
Yes, he looks very good.
I couldn't really talk to him. It was almost like he was talking to me, and I was listening. My eyes were like wide open, and it was like, okay. Yeah, and I don't even know if I even heard what he said, but I was just watching his mouth go, and I was like, okay. After he stopped and I went off, I was like, I was just talking to Magic Johnson. Unbelievable. I mean, when you finally see somebody for the first time that you really love, that's appreciated your entire life, and you meet them for the first time, I mean, it's just like a total shock. That made me feel great because that was my idol growing up. I mean, he was the guy that I really wanted to be like. He was the guy that just set the tone for guys like myself to come into the game and play point guard, being over 6'5". I was just telling him that it was just great to be out on the floor at the same time as him.
You could probably already guess that we were going to put Magic at number 1 since he's the only point guard that showed up on our top 10 greatest players of all time list, and with good reason. Of the 15 point guard related stats and analytics we looked at, as mentioned in the outset, Magic is top 20 in 13 of them and top 10 in 8. On top of that, he won 5 championships, is a 3-time MVP and 2-time Finals MVP. He's number 5 all-time in total assists, number 1 in assists per game for the regular season and the playoffs, number 5 in assist percentage, number 3 in offensive rating, number 1 in offensive rating for the playoffs, and has the 5th most win shares for the playoffs in NBA history. Those achievements are amazing. Playing alongside other Hall of Fame players like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and James Worthy, Magic could have blended into the scenery and let his teammates run the show. Instead, he had the greatness to stand out among those players and established himself as the leader of the team. His size, mobility, and ball handling skills made him one of the most complete players ever. Proof of this is the fact that he's second only to Oscar Robertson in triple-doubles.
This guy's a freaking nature, man. Be able to be 6'9" and handle the ball the way he can handle it.
Magic Johnson had tremendous basketball intelligence, like a great base runner knowing as he comes around first base why this can be a triple and not a double. He just sees the whole series of possibilities in front of him.
I can remember getting hit in the head on purpose in practice just to show me that I can get the ball to you. If you want it, open up that eye on the side of your head.
He brought the playground back into basketball, high-fiving, jumping up and down, enjoying everything, wanting to get the people involved in the game.
It's just refreshing to have anybody that comes along with that type of enthusiasm, that love for the game, and you can't help but get caught up in that.
He had to have fun. It's got to be fun to him. It couldn't just all be work and drudgery and being serious. I mean, he was the most serious, fun person I have ever been around in my life.
Earvin, being the point guard, knew that he had to conduct that team. When they were down, he had to psych them up. When they were too high, he had to bring them down. He was really a coach on the court.
Magic Johnson was different, and it was evident and clear when he had the ball that things were going on that people hadn't seen.
He could do anything on a basketball court. He could be a power forward. He could be the world's tallest point guard. He could be the world's shortest 7-foot center.
If you go to the worst seat in the arena, there's only a few that reach that high. You know, Magic Johnson reaches all the way to that top row.
I believe I was the second best point guard of that era. But Magic Johnson was the best point guard, in my opinion, to ever play.
Who are guys, just quick off the top of your head, that you compete against at the point guard that you felt you guys were so great that just didn't get their just due?
I would say in the 80s, for a short period of time, I thought Mark Price had a run in this league for about 2 years or so that was just about as good as anybody. Definitely Mo Cheeks, Gus Williams.
I have one for you.
Tiny Archibald was still,
DJ?
you know, at his
Dennis.
you know,
Dennis.
Yeah, but saying all that,
there was two.
None of them were like Magic.
Right.
None of us.
Or you.
None of us were like Magic.
During his 13-year NBA career, Magic accumulated 3 MVP awards, 3 Finals MVP awards, 10 All-NBA first-team selections, 5 championships, and 12 All-Star appearances.
I see why everybody respects Magic Johnson, because he's just a great dude. He's a great passer. He can do anything on the floor. He's just different. He do different things, and people just like him.
Magic Johnson is 5th all-time in total assists, not bad for what most would define as a short career, 18th all-time in steals, and 1st all-time in assists per game. Magic Johnson had an amazing career and is perhaps the greatest point guard of all time, depending on who you ask.
He was born in Lansing, Michigan, to Christine and Earvin Johnson in 1959, one of 10 children.
His legend grew from playing on the playgrounds, because everybody would see this kid and come out, man, he can play. And then they tell somebody else, and then it just got all over town, and they started looking for him and asking for him. Let's play, let's play.
In 1974, Earvin took his playground game to Everett High School.
I could see the greatness of Earvin Johnson when he was about 14 years old coming into high school. Once we got in a game, he would always include everybody. He wanted to win. That meant if he had to score 50, he would. But if he had to score 20 and get everybody else involved, that's the greatness that I appreciated about Earvin.
I just love playing, getting out there, and, you know, hoping our team wins. If I'm playing pickup ball, whenever. I just want to win.
In his first season, Johnson pulled the Everett Vikings out of the doldrums of losing basketball as they became state championship contenders for the first time. In the process, he became the darling of the press.
A guy came in and said,
I gotta give you a nickname. I've never seen anything like this. And I said, I'm 15 now. I start giggling. All my boys, they giggling too. Like, yeah, okay, yeah, you get my nickname. So he says, somebody's called Dr. J. Somebody has the name Big E. He said, can I call you Magic? Like, yeah, right. So the next day in the paper back home, Earvin Magic Johnson.
In his senior year, Magic averaged 29 points and led Everett to where it had never gone.
For this team, Everett High School, who really didn't have a history of basketball, to win the state title, you know, it was just like, who's Everett? And all of a sudden, here they are, and they couldn't be stopped.
I thought he was very good. There's no question about it. I thought he's probably the best guard on the team.
Earvin Johnson, look at that. Oh,
we didn't get to play a lot, but you could tell.
I think our first game was in Kentucky. We got about a 10, 12-point lead. Man, they put us in. Went to 25, 30, just that fast.
Fast break again, 3-on-2. Griffith. Wow. Look at that steal by Larry Bird.
Take us out, the lead go back down, put us back in.
That's Bird and Johnson.
The show started again.
As a youngster, Earvin displayed his own strong work ethic on the blacktop.
I was out there all day long. Before we went to school, the bus leave at 7:30. I was out there at 6:30 working on my game. My mother sometimes had to bring me food, or she would have one of my brothers and sisters go get that boy so he could eat something.
From a very young age, Earvin knew what he wanted to do.
That's how you know Magic Johnson really cared about basketball. He didn't want to eat. He was just outside all day trying to play basketball. He was hooping. He was doing his thing. I respect him for that.
He had it all planned out.
My dreams were to play in the NBA and become a businessman.
The first neighborhood basketball powerhouse, Sexton High.
I knew the players. I knew the tradition. I wanted to be a part of that. And it was on the west side of town, which was, at that time, predominantly black.
But when Lansing, like many cities in the mid-70s, began busing to desegregated school system, Earvin's journey took an unexpected detour to a predominantly white school across town.
My first day at Everett High School was my first time I really had to understand there was a race problem. Nobody white would speak to anybody black, and nobody black would speak to anybody white.
A lot of racial tension, a lot of fights, rioting. They didn't want minorities there.
He kind of shrugged it off, and basically his attitude was, okay, well, I'll overcome this.
Whenever there was any racial problems, the principal would get Earvin and go talk to these kids. I can just see him with his big hands. Calm down, just calm down. He'd break up fights.
Talk with his friends, tell him, let it go. We can't fight about everything. Let's just chill. Let's play basketball.
And there was no dispute over Earvin Johnson's ability to play ball. His talent was so great that soon after his varsity debut, a local reporter, dazzled by his exploits, gave the budding star a nickname.
In the beginning, I thought it was foolish and dumb. I didn't know nothing about a nickname. Then what happened was, you start saying, wait a minute, it fits my game. Hanging out with my boys on the street corners, we used to sing Temptation songs. They started saying, hey man, Magic, that's cool. And then people on the street start saying, hey Magic. And I said,
He bought into it, and I think he felt he had to kind of live up to that name. And I must say that he did.
His senior year, Johnson did at Everett.
No, that was a great story, though, about Magic Johnson. He got his family in it. That's nice. I like that.
What he had planned to do at Sexton, win the state championship.
Recruited by over 100 schools nationwide, the hometown hero stayed put and attended Michigan State.
He wanted to be a guard from day one, even though he was 6'8". His first game, he scored 7 points and had 7 turnovers, and there were people that said, well, Judd is ruining Magic Johnson, playing him out of position.
But Magic quickly adjusted to his new position, and by mid-season, the Spartans stood in the glare of the national spotlight.
That's what I remember about Michigan State. The fact that we got a chance to change college basketball in a sense. and we did it with style and flair.
He had an unbelievable basketball IQ. He was the leader. He was a take-charge guy from the day he walked on the court.
If somebody else came in, it could really make a mess of it.
Michigan State's resident basketball genius, Magic had clearly found a new home. He also found Cookie, his future wife.
We totally fell in love at first sight. I had a boyfriend at the time, and when I decided to go to Michigan State, he's, no, you can't go to Michigan State. I'm like, why can't I go to Michigan State? You know, he's like, you're going to meet Magic. You're going to meet Magic and marry her. And that's the truth. That's a true story. And at the time, I had no clue who he was. He had the whole world at his feet at 18. He became two different people. When he was with me, he was Earvin. But the minute we stepped outside that door, he became Magic.
I mean, Magic was his stage name. Even he would laugh about it.
Well, he
No, 7-Up is funny. They really had one 7-Up, and then the second one popped out. And they try to go that Magic. That's funny. That's a good. That's a good advertisement. That's a good advertisement. I'm sorry, but that was a good advertisement. I gotta play that back. That's a good advertisement. 7-Up, you're smart for that. 7-Up, they know what they're doing when it comes to marketing.
Well, he always says there's two people. There's Earvin Johnson from East Lansing, and there's Magic Johnson from Hollywood.
Earvin Johnson is another guy. You know, here's Magic over here, and here's Earvin over here.
Earvin's this fun-loving guy.
Double dribble. Never saw it.
Aren't you gonna get the stretching?
I don't stretch. Stretching's for show-offs.
My ball plan does the talking for me, so.
You know, when I was in college one time, I was watching a game on TV. They had this home box office thing. And I turned on this game. They were playing against Russia. And I was watching Magic play, and I go, oh, my God, that's the best player I've ever seen play, because I didn't follow basketball. And he was a sophomore at the time.
Comment down below if you know the name of this movie. I really want to watch this. Thank you.
I remember telling a friend of mine, I said, they're going to win the NCAA championship this year. Well, we go all the way through undefeated, and there's Magic standing there. It's just like it was made to happen.
On the night of March 26, 1979, it was the NCAA championship. Indiana State versus Michigan State. A game that still ranks as the highest-rated college final ever on television. A game that's now remembered as a prologue to a rivalry that transformed a sport and intertwined two legacies. But on that night, March 26, 1979, the first time Magic Johnson and Larry Bird ever went head-to-head on a basketball court. They were simply two young men trying to win a very big ball game.
Well, this is probably the biggest game I'll ever play in my life, and I just feel like, you know, I'm representing not only myself, my team, but we're representing our school and our town, Terre Haute.
Well, it's a dream come true, really, for me. I won the state title back in my home state, and then my next accomplishment was going to the NCAA and playing in a game like tonight in the finals.
They were two stars thrown together by the cosmos to compete.
Everything was written with Bird versus Magic, Magic versus Bird, that whole thing, and it wasn't Indiana State versus Michigan State anymore. It was Larry Bird versus Magic Johnson.
Larry Bird had become, alongside Magic Johnson, the talk of college basketball.
I
Originally, Magic wanted to be friends with Larry Bird. He wanted to be friends with him on the World Invitational Tournament, and Larry just wasn't very receptive. I think he wanted to be friends with him during the Final Four. Larry wouldn't even go over and shake his hand. So now Magic's saying, well, what's with this guy? Everybody loves me. How come you don't love me?
Just a year after sharing the court on Team USA, they were back together. And the day before the big game, Magic couldn't wait to greet his old playmate.
Indiana State was on practicing, and we were waiting in the tunnel. We got there early. I wanted to definitely say hello to Larry, you know. When they came through, it was like nobody was saying nothing. I wanted to go toward him, like his guys, like made sure that he didn't say nothing. And then they kind of start snickering, like, Michigan State, you in trouble. We're going to kill you guys tomorrow. That just said it's on now.
It is Indiana State against Michigan State. I'm Bryant Gumbel, and the fans here are going bananas.
I mean, let's face it, if Larry Bird were black and came from Chicago, it wouldn't have been as big a deal. They were polar opposites. One black, one white, one outgoing, one shy. That was the charm of the attraction.
The Bird against Magic. All of the superlatives have been used, and believe me, all of them have been warranted.
Heading into the tournament, Magic was the bigger star. But by tip-off, it was Bird, having hardly missed a shot in the semifinal, who had become the focus of fans and, more importantly, of Michigan State.
We actually had two men on Larry everywhere he went.
There he is, Dick. Look at they have him sandwiched in completely.
I'm surprised they didn't play a box on one, you know, 4 guys on Larry and 1 on the other 4, because they didn't have a lot of talent. You know, if you stop Larry, you pretty much stop them.
Look at the pressure around him. 2-3 men, and he's short.
I didn't play well at all. Biggest game of my life, I didn't play well.
Bird, way short.
I think our length and our size, our jumping ability was able to bother him.
Bird hanging, can't score.
I didn't shoot well, missed, I think 3 free throws.
Larry Bird has had a cold shooting night.
I battled him, but I didn't have it.
Magic, not only were you a leader on offense, I thought you did a great job on Larry Bird in the zone denying him the ball.
Yes, Coach gave us a good game plan to go against Larry Bird, and all we had to do was go out and do it. That's what we done.
And congratulations, Super Bowl game.
It was over, you know. That was my 4 years. I was done. No, it still hurts. And when you win 33 in a row and you walk into a game, you know, you never know what to expect, but I expect to win. We didn't win. Toughest loss I ever took.
I knew it was going to haunt him forever because we were going to see each other a lot.
Appreciate y'all watching through this video. Like up this video if you want me to make a part 2. Comment down below what videos you want me to react to next. Like I said, I'm a young basketball fan. I'm really trying to get into knowing about these old school players. And for my notification gang, be ready for my next shout out video. Appreciate y'all showing me love and support. Just keep showing me love, support, and I will drop daily videos. Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, they was really going crazy back and forth. I never knew that they met up in college. So that's why I like reacting to the old school players, to really get to know everybody and how they played. But like I said, like up this video if you want me to make a part 2, then I'll make a part 3 and part 4. But anyways, y'all, I'm out.